The 2020 election fraud trial came up for a case management hearing on Wednesday before Acting Chief Magistrate Faith Magusti in the Georgetown Magistrates Court. When the hearing ended, a deadline for written submissions to be filed by November 27th was agreed to. Defense Attorney at Law Nigel Hughes updated members of the media on the hearing this afternoon.
The matter was called before the magistrate, and my learned friend was kind enough to indicate to the court that I had intimated to his co-counsel on the matter that we were going to raise certain points today. I alerted that counsel to what those points were. My friend very graciously raised them with the court and then invited me to speak. The single legal point that I submitted was that when a matter starts de novo, which means afresh, you actually return to the first day the defendants appear before the court and decisions are taken there. So for example, in an indictable matter, there's no requirement to plea. If the matter is converted into a summary matter, they hear arguments and then the defendants plea. My friend indicated that the convention has been that most of the time when people come before the courts in indictable matters, they're converted quite quickly to summary matters and the court tends to hear them. And if the matter is subsequently transferred, the decision to make the matter summary is normally abided by a new magistrate. I confirm that that is the general practice, but in this case we specifically are taking a legal point which the defendants are entitled to take and which relates to their right. And our submission is that at de novo, as I explained before. The court, on our joint application, agreed to take written submissions, which we have until...
Prosecutor Attorney at Law Darshan Ramdani shared his views on the defense application to the court.
So our simple response to the defense team today is that this is a matter that has been established for decades in Guyana, which is that once a magistrate or the chief magistrate determines that the matter should be tried summarily, then the other magistrate does not have to revisit that point at all, and that we can proceed. Of course, we want this magistrate to be careful. We want this magistrate to get it right, and so we did not resist that particular application for the defense team to put in written submissions. In the usual way, they would have put in submissions and then we would have responded. But we thought to expedite these matters and to ensure we get on with them, that we would put in submissions simultaneously with the defense team. We would get all of that. The defense has asked for 3 weeks. We saw no reason to object to that at this stage, so we agreed with the 3 weeks. That meant they were going to put in submissions on the 27th. We have decided we will put in submissions without even seeing their submissions because we believe these points are rather simple. So, but if they put in submissions and there anything raised in those submissions which we did not address, and vice versa, if we put anything in our submissions that they do not address or did not address, then on the return date on this matter, which is the 9th of December, each side would have an opportunity to make submissions on those new matters. It is our hope that having regard to whatever submissions are put in, that the magistrate will be able to read them and make a determination very quickly. And so on the 9th, the magistrate could determine the matter at that point on that day or determine them at a later date, a short date. We did ask the magistrate, do you wish us to have our witnesses present on that day because we are ready to proceed to trial and our witnesses have been briefed, but the magistrate did indicate that we should not bring our witnesses on that day.
Former APNU AFC Government Minister Walter Lawrence, former GCOM CEO Keith Lowenfield, former returning officer for Region 4 Clement Mingo, and former Deputy GCOM CEO Roxanne Myers, Carol Joseph, and others were charged more than 3 years ago with conspiracy to commit electoral fraud.